All right, that's really close to my face. That's really close to my face, but it's okay. We'll go with it. Go for it. That's perfect. Jazakallah khair. We're on tour right now. We're on a Quran tour, mashallah, barakallah. We are currently in Birmingham in our hotel, and tomorrow afternoon is the Birmingham event, inshallah. So, Shoaib,
Habibi.
one sentence reminder, brother.
One sentence reminder.
One sentence.
Bro, come on, we are on 0% energy, bro.
One sentence.
One sentence reminder. I think the most important thing, especially now while we're traveling, is to understand. Wallahi, bro, I'm done. I'm sorry, bro. I can't. Because my brain cells are so fried right now.
That's what 30 minutes.
Yeah, man.
You got a whole khutbah.
What? You want a khutbah? No, bro, it's not happening.
He said a whole khutbah. Yeah, sorry.
Depends who it's going to. If you're a father, I would say it's okay to shout at your kids. Don't be afraid to shout at them, as long as 99.9% of the time you are good to them. Okay? Really random, but this is what came to my head. And if you want me to speak my mind, I'll speak my mind. 99% of the time, be good to them. Don't shout at your kids.
Yeah.
And nowadays we've coined terms like trauma. We've coined terms like, people are claiming depression as if it's some kind of tag. People are claiming these buzzwords. Why? Because what ends up happening is that we fall into the prey of our own insecurities, and then we start labeling ourselves feeling victims, feeling victimized. Therefore, my advice is stand up for yourself, brothers. Brothers, be strong as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a provider, as a qawwam. Make yourself be someone that is a rijal. Make yourself be someone that is a leader. Make yourself that is someone that is going to take care of the home. And if you have children, be good to them, be kind to them. But if you need to discipline them, then do your thing. And do not be afraid of those who blame you, because everyone will come and be naysayers and say to you, you can't do this, you can't do that, etc. To your child, they are your child. They belong to you. And the more we give children license and control and freedom, what ends up happening with kids is that they don't have standards. I'll give you one short story. Very short. My son, I took him out to... He needed to get a picture in a field, in a park somewhere. I took him out into this park. He was in this park. I took a picture of him. That's it. We went to the shops, got him a little sweet, went home. I said to him, Adam, did you have fun? He said, yes, Daddy, I had loads of fun. And I thought to myself, kids really don't have any standards. Like, that was just like 10 minutes. I was on my lunch break. Like, it was just 10 minutes. And therefore, I thought to myself, we inflate the standards for kids. We create standards for them. We show them what they should expect in life. We create that level of entitlement in their heart. And when we do that, then we take them on holidays, we buy them branded clothing, blah, 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 blah. Because we create the standards for them, what ends up happening then is they become entitled. And then what you find is that, look, you as a father, you as a man, you maybe worked for your life that you have right now, okay? And because you worked hard for it, sometimes we try to live through our children. When we live through our children, we give them everything on a plate with them without them having to do anything for it. And so they become entitled, they become self-centered, and the world is ever growing in an age where everyone is being told to be individualistic, okay? And therefore, you need to understand that if you want to create an ungrateful generation, continue giving them more, continue pampering them. But if you want to create a generation of men who are disciplined and obedient and humble and grateful to their parents, then they need to be people who are shown love, but at the same time are also shown that you can't get away with things. There's discipline, there's consequences. You need to have good behavior. You need to have respect. You need to be grateful. You're given anything, you need to acknowledge that. Just like, for example, my son there. I took him to the park, took a picture, brought him a sweet, went home. But unfortunately, a lot of kids there would say, Daddy doesn't spend time with me, he only spent 10 minutes with me, he only did this, he only did that. Why? Because maybe the mother's created that expectation, or maybe you have given him way too much time and attention his whole life, thinking that if you don't do that, you're a toxic father. That's not the case. Remember, don't fall prey to these current narratives, these current buzzwords, because this is a society that is collapsing and rotting, and unfortunately, we need to revive traditional rujula manhood that is going to help us stay firm in our religion and allow us to have a harmonious society that centralizes the nucleus of the family. And that is what the West do not want. Barakallahu feek.
Exactly. Here, you hold this for me real quick.
Yeah, man.
Just turn it around.
Bismillah, bro.
I said one sentence, man. I said one khutbah.
Sorry, bro.
You're good, bro. Are you ready? I want you to go first, bro.
No, you go first.
I go first? Okay. What's on my mind right now? It's actually what's been on my mind as of a lot lately. I'm not going to do it in a sentence either. Is rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way He deserves to be relied upon. And oftentimes, as His slaves, it's a very human characteristic to not really know what that means in its actuality. We say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, but we don't actually act like He created us. We act like we created ourselves. And there will be times in your life and my life where we feel like you and I have to figure out the solution to a problem that we are currently facing or a difficulty that we're going through. What's the first thing that comes out of my mouth when something arises in my life? Is it, Allah will take care of it? Allah will suffice for me? Or is it, man, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to fix this? We think that we need to worry about the next move. And the reality is that when these problems occur, when things burst in our life, although we may have prayed for a certain outcome, although we may have hoped for something, we forget that at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control. Nothing happens in this life without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And by default, Allah only wants what's good for me. Default. So with that being said, these two standards, these two truths bring a level of comfort to me and should bring a level of comfort to you that nobody in this life can bring us. Doesn't matter what we're going through. Doesn't matter how severe it is, how deep it is. Ya Rab, you allowed this to happen to me? Alhamdulillah. I thank you, Ya Rab, because that means this was what was best for me, Ya Rabbi, and you know that. Allah created you and I. He knows what you and I need. And although it may be a difficulty or something negative or against what you and I asked, Ya Rabbi, if you gave this to me despite what I asked for, Alhamdulillah, Ya Rab, I find comfort in that. And there's nothing that I can say about that. It doesn't mean you can't have emotions. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have emotions. It doesn't mean that what you feel, the natural responses that a human feels, is out of place, out of proportion. It's just don't let those emotions be misplaced. Root them in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're going through something, trust Him, trust in Him, rely upon Him. He's always got your back. And what you're going through is not an accident.
Beautiful, bro. Oh my God.
Let's, Brother Ibrahim's turn.
I can't say anything. I don't know what to
It's
say.
okay, bro. Anything.
Reminder about
General
Quran,
advice.
bro. Whatever, man.
General advice.
What is
General
it?
advice.
Yeah. What you were starting earlier, you could just say that.
Whatever happens in your life, whatever you're going through, whatever problems you're going through, never forget to pray. Never forget your five daily prayers. No matter how busy you are, no matter what you're doing, don't ever forget your prayers. You know? Because nowadays, when we fall into depression or mental health or whatever we're going through, problems, we go somewhere else, asking for someone, instead of praying. You know? We have to go back to the prayers. Because prayers, you know, I don't know what to say.
You're good, bro.
No,
No, that was good.
No, it's not.
That was good.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, just say go back to the prayers, and that's it. I'll say
Yeah.
that, you know.
Go back to your prayers.
That's it.
Whatever you do, just go back to your prayers. If you're depressed, go back to your prayers. Prayers will cure your depression.
All right. That's really close to my face. That's really close to my face, but it's okay. We'll go with it. Go for it. That's perfect. Jazakallah khair. We're on tour right now. We're on a Quran tour, mashallah, barakallah. We are currently in Birmingham in our hotel. And tomorrow afternoon is the Birmingham event, inshallah. So, alhamdulillah, we're going to pray Fajr, go to sleep, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan for watching. Make dua for us. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us. Don't forget to smile. Stay humble. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Give me my bed.